Thank you very much for coming to this amazing event. You have come back in time to 1461. Those of you who don't know me, my name's Aaron. I am part of the interpretation department here at the museum. This event, and thanks to this gentleman standing in the corner, we put this together last year, and we've never done something quite like this before, to have a full immersive experience in January for 9 nights. So it's experimental history, interpretation and archaeology for us. This is day 5, I've lost count now, it's day 5 out of 9, and the culmination will be this Sunday when the Feast of the Annunciation, or as it's also known as the Feast of Candlemas, will be celebrated here. And what I'm going to do is, apart from I'm going to stop talking actually now, I am going to hand over to the lady of the house, Mistress Sarah here, who is standing, and she will tell you a little bit about the household as it would have been in 1461.
I am Sarah Babham, and I am the mistress, as Aaron said, and I am the eldest of 3 children. When I was but 5 years old, my younger sister was born, and my mother died in childbirth. So I was sent to a convent where I received some education. I learnt to read, to write and to reckon. My younger sister stayed at home and was kept by nurses until our father married again, some years later, and we had a second sister, my youngest sister or half-sister. Everything you see around you here is the result of hours of research and reading, poring over illustrations and records. But we are merely the shadows from the stones around you. And we would like you to come back with us in time and hear our stories. And all the staff are part of our family, and together we make a household. So this is my younger sister Alice, and she has married a London mercer, and she is representing the most successful silkwoman of her time, and she is a prosperous businesswoman. So do talk to her and learn her story. My younger sister was not quite so successful, but she too it is official. Has married, she has a family, and she is a furrier and skinner.
Yes.
And you'll notice there are slight differences between what we're wearing and what she's wearing. Very subtle distinctions in class and role. Again, the product of hours of research. In the far corner, a shadow by the window, recognisable by his little pointy hat, is our bailiff, Master Tunstead. Master Tunstead is responsible for the house and all that is around it in the estate. He supervises the collection of rents and makes sure that we have enough money in our turn to pay the taxes. We're coming to a lean time of the year when only a well-provisioned larder will see us through to the Feast of Easter. And I'm going to correct Master Aaron when he mentioned the Annunciation. We are coming to the end of the great Christmas season that started with Advent, culminated in the birth of our Lord at Christmas, and ends at Candlemas with the presentation of Christ in the temple, where old Simeon says that he has finally seen the salvation of Israel, the light to lighten the Gentiles.
Thank you very much. I will also point out that her 2 sisters arrived at Christmas. If anyone ever complains about guests coming to stay over Christmas, they've been here for 2 months.
They asked to pass the Christmas season with me, and I, in my folly, thought we meant the 12 days of Christmas, not the entirety of Advent, Epiphany, and through to Candlemas. In fact, I hope they leave before Lent, because otherwise I will feed them solely salt cod between the start of Lent at Shrovetide and through to Easter. I should have stopped talking and I'm going to start again. But Hannah asked me if I'd share this with you. Yesterday, I was sitting in my chair and watching the room. We had 2 visitors and they stood by the door there for quite some time before they came in. They moved around the room, they talked to each person, they talked to Mary at the fire, they talked to Tilly, who you could barely see at the back wall there. They learnt so much from us and they ended up with me. And we chatted and they answered some questions. And they said, we stood on the doorstep of this house and we were the ones in the wrong place and time. Yeah. And watching and talking and listening, we have learned more in half an hour here than in all the books and films that we've ever watched.
And I would actually add, this is why we need good live interpretation here at the museum, because it truly brings these houses to life. We will certainly be hoping to work with Black Knight Historical many times in the future. They came here for an incredibly successful Lammas Day fair back in August, which I believe was the most successful weekend we have had in many years. It takes work, it takes money, of course, to put that together, but this is why we need them. So yeah, thank you to them very much, especially thanks to this gentleman over in the corner who I've worked with over the last 2 months, hasn't it, sir? With many messages and so forth.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yes.
Yeah, if I may throw a few words to the assembled multitude. Yeah, I'm Ian from Black Knight. This was my idea. We started talking about it in the middle of last summer, the potential to do something longer. Mary Jo Neville, the sister of the Earl of Warwick, the Kingmaker, these people you may have heard of, and it's incredibly interesting and exciting. We've only just heard here, down in darkest Sussex, of what happened at Wakefield on the 30th of December. That's how news travels. Today we are so bombarded with news from all around the world, we stare in a split second. It's taken a month to get that news down from Wakefield to hear that Richard Duke of York was slain at the Battle of Wakefield. His head now resides on a spike over Micklegate Bar in York. And yes, the country is at war with itself. For those who maybe know it as the Wars of the Roses, we would not know it as that. This is to us now going to be termed the Cousins' War. York fighting Lancaster, both cousins.